Hi, welcome back to Sharing Parenting's online course. My name is Suzanne Pearson. I am the founder and director of Sharing Parenting. I wanted to do session 10 because I wanted to say congratulations for doing the last 9 weeks and well done. That's quite an achievement and quite a parenting journey. As we get started, I'd like to just remind you, if you haven't already, make sure you have your pen and paper ready for the exercises. Remember, you can pause when you need to complete an exercise, and when you're ready, press play to return. If you're using our Raising Children workbook, the page numbers are 109 to 112. Welcome to session 10. And well done to you. I think you should give yourself a well-deserved pat on the back. During this session, we're going to spend some time reviewing our learning, evaluating our personal learning and the changes that we have made in the family and the impact that learning has had. In this session, I'd like you to think of 2 things that you have changed in the family and maybe 3 things that you have learned. The aims of today is for you to identify those changes and that learning. To help you with this, I'm going to go through the last 9 weeks. And as I go through this, each week, try and remember what the highlights were for you. Think about each week and what learning you achieved, and did you make any changes in the family? What happened for you in that week? So sit back and I'll go through the 9 weeks. Session 1 was the job description. We wrote the job description for a parent, and remember how big that job description was? All the skills you have. All the information you hold. It was huge. Also in session 1, we looked at the pressures and expectations on us as parents. And in that session, we thought, was there any pressures we could change? For some parents, the morning routine is the place where all the pressures exist. And for them, they might prepare to get up a bit earlier to take the pressure out of the morning. Did you make anything that could help you with the pressures that exist for you? In session 2, we looked at parenting styles. And the first thing we started in that session is to construct a suitcase. We looked at the suitcase and we said, if our job is done with our children, what needs to be in that suitcase? We didn't put socks and jumpers. We put respect, life skills, budgeting, a good self-esteem, confidence, empathy. We put lots of things in that suitcase for our children so that when the job is done, that's the suitcase they have. And then we talked about our parenting styles. 3 parenting styles we discussed: passive, assertive and aggressive. And we looked at the link between each parenting style and children's behaviour. We then reflected on, is your parenting style going to help you achieve your suitcase? Is that parenting style going to give you and your family what you need? If it is, no need to change anything. If not, we need to be making small changes. Remember, when we change our parenting style, that has an effect on our children's behaviour. And the good news is we have control over our parenting style. We have control over changing ourselves. We can change what we say, what we do, and what we think. Now that's good news. But change is not easy. There's nothing easy about changing, and it should be done in small parts. For example, a simple thing like folding your arms. Fold your arms the way you would normally fold them. Notice what hand is on top and what hand is underneath. Now unfold. Now I want you to fold them differently. We're going to change the way we fold our arms. Sounds simple? So that hand is under and that hand is on top. How does that change feel? For some people it feels uncomfortable. But imagine I told you that folding your arms the same way constricts the blood vessels. So we should change it. But how many of us, when we sit down at night, want to go back to the old ways? So just remember that change is hard and it takes practice and it can feel uncomfortable until we get used to it. In session 3, we looked at Maslow. We looked at the link between children's behaviour and unmet needs. For example, you may pick your child up from school and they're out of sorts. Maybe, they're not quite themselves and we're not sure why or what to do. It might be one of the things we could do is just give them a snack. Remember where food is on Maslow's triangle? Right at the very bottom. Just by providing a snack for our child after school could change their behaviour. So we looked at that. We looked at the link between behaviour and unmet needs in children. Session 3 is very important for another reason, and that's the jug. How do you fill your jug? When our jug is full, we're much better positioned to take positive action and make the changes we need. When we've had good food, good sleep, we've connected with people that are important to us. If we're constantly giving out and not taking care of ourselves, our jug can get empty. And when our jug's feeling empty, it's very difficult to make any changes. So remember, before you make any changes, take care of yourself and make sure that jug is full. Session 4, Understanding Challenging Behaviour. Here we looked at Adler's goals of misbehaviour. Why do children behave like that? Remember the link between behaviour and how we feel? If I'm feeling irritated by my child's consistent behaviour, that child is probably in attention-seeking behaviour. And the golden rule? Give attention to behaviour you want to continue and try and reduce attention to the behaviour you don't want to continue. If I'm feeling angry, that child is probably in a power struggle. There's probably a boxing ring right in front of you and that child is saying, come on, I need more choices. I need to have more responsibility. And there we looked at choices, giving our children choices and getting them involved in extra responsibilities. The third one is hurt. If I'm feeling hurt at what my child is saying or doing, there is a good chance that child is in revenge and that child is also hurting. When your child is saying something that's hurtful, we really need to stay friendly, and that's hard. And we really need to listen to that child using our good listening skills. And the last one was giving up. If your hands are in the air and you're thinking, I don't know what to do next, I give up. You know that child is giving up and they're feeling discouraged. And there we both need courage, the parent and the child. We both need to build our courage. In session 5, 2 ears, 1 mouth, we looked at good listening. What is active listening? Listening to our children is one of the most important things we can do, but sometimes that's hard. We are distracted, we have our own agenda, we are busy. So we also looked at active listening. How do we practice active listening? 2 things, content and feelings. Reflect on the child's words and try and reflect on their feelings, not worrying if you get it wrong. Session 6 and 7, effective discipline. It's all about teaching and learning. We looked at how we communicate when something is wrong and we linked our parenting styles to our communication. Communication is much more than the words we say. It's about how we say it, it's about the body language, it's about our facial expression. For example, if I say to my child, time to put your toys away, that could sound differently if I say it aggressively, time to put your toys away. And that has a different impact on the child and will result in different behaviour. So in this session 6, we really looked at how we communicate and we linked our communication to parenting styles. It's about being in line. What I think, the words I say and how I say it are all given the same message, and that's the assertive parent. In these sessions, we discussed what makes a good effective strategy. We looked at a range of discipline strategies and the pros and cons of each. And one of the big strategies we looked at was choices and consequences. Remember, you have 2 hands, only ever 2 choices and 2 consequences. Choices and consequences really help children to take responsibility. They help them to think things through and can reduce those power struggles. Session 8, we looked at labelling. Tell me what I am and that's what I'll become. Tell me that I'm lazy enough times and guess what? I will be an expert at being lazy. Tell me that I'm naughty and I'll be really good at being naughty. When we label our child, we go straight to the identity and we lower self-esteem. So in session 8, we learn to separate the child from the behaviour, describe the behaviour and keep self-esteem growing. Rather than saying, you're so lazy, just describe what you see. You've been spending too much time on the couch. Say the behaviour you see or the behaviour you want and keep self-esteem growing. Okay, session 9, encouragement. This always makes me smile because all through the last 9 weeks you have been building encouragement. You've been building confidence and courage in both yourself and your child. And in this session we took a spotlight and we looked at the crucial C's. We looked at connect, that sense of belonging, capable, I can do it, count, I can make a difference, and courage, I can handle what comes. But it's not just building the crucial C's in our children. We talked about how important it is to build the crucial C's in ourselves. Through building the crucial C's in ourselves, we will also be building them in our children. So well done for going through those last 9 weeks and give yourself a well-deserved pat on the back. You're now on the last session, session 10. Now we have reviewed the course, it's time for you to reflect on what your learning has been. As I spoke about the sessions, what stood out for you? What did you learn? Think of all the sessions and what you remember most, where you really feel you learned something. In the past, parents have said the listening session has been the most powerful. Or for other parents, it's understanding behaviour that's made the difference. Or it's choices and consequences, a really good strategy. For you, what was the most powerful learning? We'll now come to our first exercise. Got your pen and paper ready? Pause when you're ready to do the exercise, and when you're ready, press play to return. What specific learning has taken place for you? Have all your outcomes and hopes been achieved? There might be other things that are missing for you. This is a good time to reflect on your learning. Reflecting on this learning helps us to embed it in our minds and helps us to really learn it and learn the strategies. Clarifying your thoughts. Well done. You may have had some of the examples I've given you, or maybe your learning was slightly different. Maybe it was about being an assertive parent or not using labellings. Whatever worked for you is what you can practice and what you can develop on. Now we've looked at learning, let's look at the impact. What impact has your learning had on the family? What changes have you made? For example, I may have learned active listening, and as a result of that, the impact is a quieter house. Or I really practiced assertiveness and we now have better communication and a better relationship. Think about your learning and how you put that in practice. What differences have you noticed since started in the course? When you're ready to do the exercise, pause and press play when you have finished and want to come back. Remember, change takes time and small changes build up as we go along. You're on the right path to building happy, healthy, confident children. Well done. But you may still have questions that are outstanding for you. You might have to do some more research or review some of these sessions. You may want to share these sessions with family and friends. Sharing sessions help build our own learning and clarify our own learning. So please do feel free to share the sessions. Or you might want to do a further sharing parenting course. So what next? You've been on a long learning journey. So what changes would you still like to make? And it might be changes for both yourself and your family. For your family, you might want to spend some more time practicing the strategies you've learned. You might want to practice assertiveness or not using labelling, or practice building the crucial C's. And that takes time. Practice takes time. Allow yourself time to practice it. And don't worry about mistakes. Mistakes are useful for our learning. And share those mistakes with your children. Let them know that, oh, I made a mistake, I did that wrong. Mistakes are all part of the learning journey. And create a culture in your house of being happy to discuss mistakes and the learning from them. There is no magic wand, but you're on the right path. Review the material as often as it's useful to embed those strategies. Go back to the sessions that you'd like to look at. Change takes time and it takes a lot of effort. But there's also what changes would you like to make for you? What next for you? Would you like to go back to training? You've been doing a whole load of training with raising children, more courses, or even return to work. You've been on a long learning journey and you may want to continue this. Whatever you're thinking of for you, here in Sharing Parenting, we have programs that might be able to help you clarify your journey and what you would like to do next. But whatever you do to make these changes, make a plan. Sit down, think about it and spend time on it. Think of who can help you and what organisation can help you. And if need to, get in touch with us because we have several projects that can help you talk through your plans and discuss your future, be it study, work or volunteer. Whatever is coming next, whatever is your plans, it is important to fill your jug. Make sure you have that jug filled before you make any changes. And remember, the best thing you can spend with your child is time. There is no substitute for spending time with your child. Parents being positively involved in their child's life is the single most important factor in a child's educational achievement and well-being. There are other courses in Sharing Parenting that might be useful to you, whatever stage you're at on your parenting journey. These courses include the Raising Children Refresher. You've done Raising Children. 6 months from now, you might want the refresher. You may want some top-up skills and really looking at the material in a different way. Or as your child gets older, you may want Raising Teens or Pre-Teens. You may want to look at sibling rivalry or something around building resilience. We have a whole load of courses here at Sharing Parenting that you can access and tap into, and we'd welcome you to do that. Review and feedback are an important part of what we do. And really, as an organisation, we'd welcome your feedback. What did you think of this online course? What's been good about it? Is there anything that we could do better or that we could change? We take parents' feedback very important, and anything you give us, we will look at, discuss and make changes. There is an evaluation form on the website and we welcome you to fill this in and return it. There's a whole load of ways to get in touch with us, the website, the email and social media. There's a whole load of social media that you can access and connect with us through. All that's left to say now is thank you. Thank you for coming on our online course. We hope you have enjoyed it and we hope that you've made some of the difference that you wanted to make. Please feel free to share it with others and stay in touch. Thank you.